guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and today we are going to watch Season 6, Episode 6 of Lost. I can't believe that with every single episode we inch closer to the end of this experience. I kind of hate it, but I'm also enjoying it and trying to hold on to these last couple of months watching this show and getting to experience it with you guys. So, in the last episode, we had a very good Jack arc. We kind of got to the core of who Jack is, and that is the belief that he's not good enough, which was instilled in him by his father. And I think his whole life he's been trying to get out of that belief in his own head and prove to himself and his father that he is good enough, that he does have what it takes, that he can be the person that he wants to be, and the person that stands up to the bullies and saves people, right? And so I think that was a really good, not shutting the door on that arc for Jack, because I think that it's still an ongoing process, but it was a really good bookend to the first season Jack versus now Jack, and the ways that he's changed and how the island and the people on the island have changed him. And I'm really curious to see where he goes from here, because he's been pushed further and further into being a man of faith this whole time because of just circumstances, and he falls back to logic and he tries to logic it out and figure it out, and then something else happens and he kind of feels like, oh, maybe I should just believe, So anyway, I think I'm rambling. What I'm trying to say is I'm curious to see where Jack's arc goes from here, and of course everyone else's arc. And I'm a little bit scared because we ended the last episode with Claire and not Locke and Jen and Sawyer, because he was with not Locke last we checked. So kind of scared for where that's gonna go. Let's see. Is Nadia still alive? She is.
Hello, Nadia.
Oh, are they married? She got...
You're here. Where were you, Uncle Saeed?
Oh,
I was in Sydney.
Where's Sydney?
In Australia. You bring flowers for my wife.
Oh.
I'll give them to you if you want.
I thought they were
It's good to see you, Saeed.
together,
See you
but
too,
no.
brother.
Come.
His brother?
I thought we talked about cell phones at the dinner table.
Dinner is over.
Ooh.
This is business.
There's a lot of... If you just order dry cleaners, it can't be that
Yes.
serious. Just saying. There's a lot of awkward tension in this whole situation, though.
Did you get my letters?
Girl, what letters you writing? You're married to his brother.
Mommy, we found a picture of you in Uncle Saeed's bag.
Oh, awkward. Good thing your fucking dad wasn't there. Oh, maybe he was. That stresses me the fuck out. That is stressing me out.
For every man, there is a scale. On one side of the scale, there is good. On the other side, evil.
Okay, but how can your little machine test that?
This machine tells us how the scale is balanced.
How?
And yours tipped the wrong way.
That's why you tried to poison me.
How could your machine possibly test for that?
You think you know me, but you don't.
Yeah.
I'm a good man. So if you're trying to kill me...
Damn it. Alright, you need to chill. Damn. I would just try to leave the room. Ah. What? It did bounce weird.
Never come back.
Why? Feels unfair, you know? I also can't help but feel like potential for evil and evil are different things, you know?
Saeed, I'm in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Obviously.
You were an interrogator for the Republican Guard.
Okay.
I know what kind of man you are.
Alright, well that's fucked up to
If
say
you think I'm going to hurt
it like
someone
that.
just because you made a bad business
But this
decision.
is not about me. Our life savings. It's all gone, Saeed. All of it. We could lose our home.
You're a dumbass then.
I'm not that man anymore.
Also, you gotta, like, accept the consequences of your own actions, dude.
Who wants to see me?
You know who.
If he wants to see me, then tell him to come in.
No, he wants you to go to him. He's waiting outside beyond the outer wall.
I'm not a fool. He'll kill me.
Oh, then maybe you should send someone he won't kill.
Like who?
For years, he has been trapped. But now Jacob is gone. He's free. He is evil incarnate.
And you want me to speak to him?
No,
You want someone to kill him?
I want you to kill him.
Can you kill
He will come to you
evil?
as someone you know. Someone who has died. If you allow him to speak, it is already too late.
Since I've been here, I've been drowned, beaten, and tortured at your hands.
Right?
Why would I ever do anything for you?
And then just beat the fuck out of me too.
You said that there is still good in your soul. Then prove it.
What? They kidnapped him. Oh, they heard him. I wonder, yeah. I was like, I wonder if he'll see Jack, and then he's right there.
Go home. Wait for the kids. Make them feel safe, Saeed. Will you do that?
I wonder what he'll do.
That Australian chick's back.
Wait, what?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
The blonde one that had the baby?
Claire?
Right, Claire.
Uh-oh. I
She
wouldn't,
just strolled in here a couple hours ago, acting all weird.
I don't know if she should
Still
talk to
hot,
Claire.
though.
Still hot, though, is wild to say. Oh. Stabba stabba.
Saeed.
Oh, damn. Not really his heart, though. You kind of missed by a fairly large margin. Oh, maybe not. It looked like he stabbed way down here. But he already talked, so maybe
Now why'd you go and do that?
it was too late. Does hello Saeed count, I guess?
What if I said you could have anything in the entire world?
I would tell you that the only thing I ever wanted
It's gone.
died in my arms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never see it again.
What if you could?
You can't bring back the dead. Can you? I don't know. Feels like dark magic, dark shit. I don't know.
Why did you push me towards your brother?
Because he thought he deserved you and he didn't, probably.
Because I don't deserve you.
Yeah, that's what I thought he would say. Like, your brother is actively putting her in danger right now, though, so does he deserve her? You know?
He sent me back here to give you a message. He wants you to know that Jacob is dead. And because he's gone, none of you have to stay here any longer. You're free. The man that I met is leaving the island forever.
Kids and the lady from the plane.
Those of you who want to go with him should leave the temple and join him. You have until sundown to decide.
What happens at sundown if we stay?
You die.
That's not really a choice, then, is it? Like, you stay and die, or you leave and...
Claire, it's me. Kate? Why did they put you down here? What happened?
They have my son, Kate. They have Aaron. They took him from them.
No,
Claire,
don't. Kate?
they don't have Aaron.
Kate? You about to have regrets?
I took him.
What?
I took him off the island. You were gone, and we couldn't find you, so... I raised him.
Ooh. Yep.
And he is the most beautiful, amazing little boy.
Oh, do you not see this face? That's not a happy face. It was dark, so maybe she could not read the facial expression, but that was not like a, yay, thanks for helping my son facial expression. Why are you cooking eggs? Oh,
Hey, you want some eggs?
No.
I can make whatever you want, fried, scrambled. You still got that poacher. What's the poacher? You want poached? So I can make some good poached eggs.
What's that fuck?
Thank you.
I make good eggs.
You're evil.
So?
You killed him.
Right.
No, I guess not technically you. That egg was completely unseasoned.
Martin Kimi.
Don't care.
Hey, your brother does owe me, and somebody is gonna pay me that money. Whoa. So you... Okay.
Didn't realize who you were fucking with, huh?
Your brother doesn't owe me anything. The debt's forgiven, all right?
Well, also, obviously, you're lying. Like, how easy would it be for you to say that and then go back on it? Oh, shit. Who's that?
죽이지 말아주세요. 제발 살려주세요.
Who are you?
No English.
Yeah. Well, just walk a very certain way so you don't see the dead bodies, then we're good.
I picked my son up from baseball.
It is his son's.
He was 12.
He died. A car accident?
A man came to me. A
Smokey?
man I had never met. He told me that
You gotta get him
he
back.
saved my son's life.
Yeah.
But I will have to come here, to this island, where I would have a new job. But I could never see my boy again.
Oh, damn. Is he alive out there, though?
Who was this man?
His name was Jacob.
Oh, Jacob.
Jacob drives a hard bargain.
The man outside. I take it he offered you a similar bargain.
Yes.
I need to know if his son is alive, though. Because that kind of changes things. Like,
It is Sundown.
is he gonna come back too? Is he claimed now?
You realize what you just did? He was the only thing keeping it out. Idiot.
Yeah,
Just let it in.
I think that's what he wanted.
I know.
No! Saeed has turned to the dark side! Right? I feel like that's what that means. Oh.
We gotta go now.
Yeah, leave. Oh, shit. No, yep. It's too late. You gotta leave. Leave. Yes, leave. Oh.
Where are Shepard and Reyes?
Kate and I got separated.
How did you?
We'll play catch up later. You want to live, you better move your ass.
What about Jura? Is he here?
Yeah, he was headed to the pool room.
I'll go get him.
Oh, shit.
There's still time. Not for me.
Yep. I would run. I would run. Benjamin.
Where's your husband?
What?
Your husband. He took off yesterday.
Jin was here? He's alive?
Yeah.
Last I saw him, yeah.
Everybody inside now.
That was real fucking close. That was real fucking close to Smokey. Oh, Kate, you don't even know what's going on. You are not safe here, Kate. Just like slowly slink away from the group. Personally. Of course, Kate doesn't know what I know, so she won't. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this episode, which is kind of the first time in a bit that I've felt this. I feel a bit conflicted. I like where the story is going, I think. Like, it seems to be really, like, good versus evil, and this whole idea of... I think I talked about a little bit in the last episode in regards to Jacob, right? And if Jacob is this idea of good, you can't really kill good. Just like if Smokey is this idea of evil or evil incarnate, you can't really kill evil, right? So I kind of think that there's this really interesting narrative that they're playing with here about good and evil and the idea of good and the idea of evil and how much those can intermingle and intermix in a person's soul and like who they are. And I think it's a really interesting concept, but I'm just curious as to what the end goal of it is going to be, because I did kind of hold out a lot of hope for Saeed until this episode, and I actually think that his story is really sad if this episode is kind of, can I talk right now? I don't know. Sorry guys, my brain is not working. If this episode, and if who Saeed ends up being in this episode, is the end of Saeed's story, obviously not like death, but if we have truly lost the Saeed that we know, and this is the end of his story here, it makes me really sad, because I think so much of Saeed's story is the battle of good and evil within himself, right? And it's just this idea that Saeed has of trying to redeem himself and trying to become the person that he wants to be, which is good. I think that Saeed has always wanted to be good, and he's always struggled because he is capable of doing things that are evil or bad or darker than maybe the average person. I remember the scene with Saeed and his brother and the chicken in the flashback. I think it was a chicken. It was some kind of bird. And his brother couldn't kill it, and the dad was really upset, and then Saeed killed it. And then that was sort of indicative of Saeed being willing to do things other people wouldn't do. But in that scene and that episode, we see that the reason that Saeed does it is to protect his brother from having to do it. And I think a lot of times the dark, evil things that Saeed has done were to protect other people from having to do them. Or in the military, you know, It's very hard because I feel like in the military, when you're given an order, you don't really get to be like, no, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Unless it's an unlawful order. And then there's such a mentality of doing what you have to do and following orders in the military that I think it would be hard to say no unless you thought it was like something really, really bad. And in the case of what Saeed was doing, it was supposed to be like for the good of his country, right? And so, yeah, I think it's fucked up to torture people. I think that that's a really, really horrible thing to do. And I think that it does take a certain kind of person to be capable of doing that. However, I do think that throughout the show, they've shown us that Saeed does have a lot of good in him. He does care about people. He does want to protect them. He does feel deeply and love deeply. And there's so many more facets to him than the bad things that he's done. And so to watch Saeed struggle with that throughout this whole show, right? Because his entire storyline, really at its core, has been about Saeed's struggle with overcoming the darker parts of himself and trying to be good and do good and kind of failing sometimes. And I think that it's kind of sad if Saeed's story ends with evil taking him over through no fault of his own, really. Because if he's claimed by Smokey and his soul, his whatever, is corrupted, then it's not really Saeed choosing to do that anymore, right? Just like it's not it's not Claire doing the things that Claire is doing, because the Claire that we know would never be okay with these things happening. So therefore we know it's not Claire. So I feel like it's sad that we've lost both of them, and then that's where their story ends. I don't think it's bad storytelling. I don't think it's bad at all that Saeed's ultimate struggle is that. And then he tries to do something, because the last real choice that the Saeed that we know was Saeed made was trying to help everyone by killing Ben when he was younger. And you can argue about whether or not that's a good choice or an evil choice, sure. But the motivation for him choosing to do that came from a place of good. He was trying to save people. He was trying to help the most people. And so even though arguably that choice was evil, he ultimately chose good. So it makes me sad that the last true choice that Saeed might make in the show was choosing good and then having that corrupted to evil. I do feel a little bit, and I will give Kate, I don't know why I always mix up their names. I will give Kate the benefit of the doubt because it was super dark, and obviously we have TV lighting so that they can show us what the expressions are, but I'm assuming that it was real dark in that little hole that Claire was in, because that's the only explanation for how Claire did not see that girl was not happy with you at all. She was real pissed. She was real pissed. There was no part of her that was grateful that you helped her son. She also was acting very strange, and I get why Kate would go back for her. Kate's entire storyline this season and part of last season has been her guilt over feeling like she took Aaron and trying to make amends by reuniting Claire and Aaron and giving him his biological mother. That's her storyline. I already said that. But it makes sense that she would go back for Claire because of the guilt And because she does want to reunite them, and because that's been her quest this whole time, it makes total sense that she would. I just kind of needed her to clock that Claire's acting a little bit funky, you know? I just needed her to, like, file that shit away somewhere. It doesn't seem like she did. Maybe now she will. But, yeah, I just wish that she could have clocked that, because there was no part of Claire that seemed happy to see you once you relayed the information that you, in fact, relayed. So, it is also interesting that in the Flash Sideways with Saeed and Nadia and Omar, that they had the whole struggle as well. The struggle of Saeed trying to leave that life behind, trying to choose good, being forcibly dragged back into it, and then kind of having no choice but to do what he did in order to survive and keep his family safe and the people he loves safe. So I do think it's an interesting parallel, just like Jack in the last episode with trying to be good enough and overcome this idea that he's not good enough that was instilled in him by his father, and then change the cycle and not repeat the pattern with his own son and instead change it. I think that it's cool how the Flash Sideways are kind of mirroring, or the lessons that they're getting in the Flash Sideways are mirroring the lessons that they're getting on the island. And I do wonder what it's all going to mean. And I do also wonder how much stock I should place in the Flash Sideways, because I don't know how real they are. Like, obviously I think that it's a different timeline, like just a divergent timeline from the timeline that we're on right now at the island. But there's a part of my brain that wants to be like, but what's like the true timeline? Is it the island? Is it the Flash Sideways? Is there a true timeline, or are they both true, just in different ways? And therefore I should place equal stock in what's happening in both. I really don't know. And it does have me wondering. Anyway, I think that that's all that I have to ramble about in this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can watch the next episode, episode 7, right now over on my Patreon if you're watching this when it goes public on YouTube. While you're over there, you can also watch my entire full-length reaction to this episode and all the episodes so far of Lost. Again, that is on my Patreon, which is linked in the description down below. I am going to go. I hope to see you guys next time for more Lost. Until then. Bye, guys!